Ladies and gentlemen, we are so back. Because I have finally gone off my ass and set up my monitor again. So now my laptop and my monitor. Helped partially by the fact that my keyboard is arriving tomorrow. So I'll be able to finally have like a proper setup. I have two monitors and, because my laptop counts as a monitor. And I'll be able to, do things more easily. I also my aunt will be coming home soon because I've been house sitting, but like I still live here. So I want to move. I want to see what I can do. There's like a dressing table upstairs in one of the rooms, which means it's not, it's not really built as like a desk, but I could use it as a desk. So I'll see what I can do with that, but it may be a bit difficult. Don't know my camera's so low. Yeah, there you go. That's normal. Let me switch to my camera. It means I can now switch to my camera without opening OBS. Not that anyone gives a shit, but still. Yeah, look at that size comparison, by the way. Like, even though it's blurry, like, you can clearly see the difference between the monitor size and my laptop screen size. Like, that's how much real estate I'm losing, Those are pixels, that I'm losing for, like, my code. Imagine if I just use my monitor, right? Like as with like a PC, I could have like a full single window workflow with like my compiler information on one side and stuff like that. That'd be awesome. But oh well. In fact, should I do that? Should I put my OBS on this laptop and then use this one as my workflow? That makes sense, right? Use the bigger monitor. Like why wouldn't I do that? So the downside is all my like Discord's things, like if I switch to my scene right now, all my other apps, like if I go to Claude or Discord or Obsidian on my browser, they're all on my first monitor, and moving them isn't really possible since they're in special workspaces and I don't know how to move a special workspace to a different monitor. So I wouldn't be able to show any of those if I did that. That's the downside. Of course, I could like manually switch my thing, but then you just kind of lose that. So I don't know about that then. But yeah, let me set up another scene. So I'll duplicate this one, call this one second monitor. Okay, and it's the same thing, but I'm going to change my screen capture device. So right now you can't see anything, but I'm going to change my screen capture device somewhere. Properties, nope. Properties, no? Open selector, here we go. Yeah, screen one. Okay, cool. So now this is my second monitor, and now I can switch between both. That's what I would say, except it has overridden this one. Okay, hold on. So let me also make a different thing here. Gonna add source, screen capture, pipewire 2, whatever, create new, yeah, okay, screen 1. There we go. And then I'm going to delete this one. Remove it. Yes. Okay, so now this is this screen and this is this screen. Just change the ordering. Here we go. So now I can switch between both. Awesome. And let me show you. So let me move. Okay, hold on. How should I do this? Yeah. Okay, so let me move my OBS to this window off. So now you see my desktop, right? And now let me open this to kind of demonstrate. So like let me open. Well, no. Actually, let me just move freeware here. Okay, and now let me open a new window. And like look at that. Like, because I have so much more space, I can just have this like compiler output here, and like I really don't lose much space. Whereas if I were to have this same window, let me switch to this monitor now. If I were to go to like here, and get the same project. So actually, let me go here, open the same project, freeware, and go to main. And let me just remove the debug window for a second. Hold on. Yeah. I mean, like, it depends as well. Like, I could also just like make the text bigger. There is that as well. But like, if I make the text size match, hopefully you can see what I mean. So like, look at this for a second, and then compare that to this. Yeah? I don't know. Whatever. What's like a, let me try like, well, let me focus on this video. Let me try like a direct size comparison real quick. Yeah, it's way bigger. Like, to make it more accurate, I have to zoom out like that. And now it's like still bigger than the text on my computer. I mean, on my laptop. It's just that the pixels aren't as sharp. So like, it looks smaller. Like, relatively speaking, it is smaller, but like, I mean, resolution speaking, it is smaller, but like in terms of actual size, this is still bigger text than on my laptop screen. And like, look at how much like less space it takes, like horizontally. It's insane. I could code like this, but I guess it's also just better to code like this anyway, with slightly bigger text. But maybe I can get used to this. I don't like how big the jump is, but I guess again, it could, because I like the pixel density, there's not really much I can do about it. So let me go with this size. Alternatively, I could change my settings somehow. So let's let's close this and open my config, not for NeoVim, for Hyperland. Right? Let's go to monitor.lua. Yeah. So my scale is 1.0. I could change this to like 0.7, for instance, and now everything will be zoomed out. Okay, I think that's the size it prefers more. And that means things are like just like more natural. So like, if I go back to 1.0, you know, like this is my normal text size. In fact, no, this is my normal text size. But if I go 0.8, now things are just smaller in general, and it feels more natural. And I could zoom out, zoom in. I could go like 0.7, but it doesn't like that. It says do 6, 7 instead. Hilarious. And that's like no difference there. So again, like this is the normal text size, right? If I'm not mistaken. I go back 1.0. Yep, look at that. Normal text size, or like it seems normal to me, because like that like this is the default zoom. If I make it 0.67, it's still the default zoom. It's just smaller. And then it's just a matter of the screen, of the monitor's pixel density. So like having a 4K monitor would genuinely be quite useful there, but not needed by any means. So now if I save that, close this, and open again freeware. Like, again, because like the resolution's smaller, like it does look smaller here as well, even though it's technically bigger. It's weird. It's really weird. Arguably too small, unfortunately. So let me open back Hyperland, go to my monitor, and let's make it 0.8. So it's like, it's still smaller, but it's more readable. So now I can open freeware. Don't know where all the things have gone. Do I have a thing here? I do. Change second monitor scale to 0.8. Yep. Let's open freeware. Open main. Okay. Also, I was thinking about, rather than having like different build commands for different things, I just have a build.sh script, so that if I run build or run, it literally just runs build.sh. That's what I was thinking of doing instead. So let me configure that as well. How to do this? Let me go 6. So now I own that. Put a thing here. I'll move my config to that window. So now 3 should be unused. But 1 is also unused, and yet it still shows up. It's weird. 4 is gone. I need some like kind of thing in my thing that tells me what like when like desktop one. Also, I'm realizing I don't know how good resolution the recording is. You guys are probably seeing. I mean, you'd be seeing it on the size of your monitor. So like if you're on mobile, it's really small. If you're watching this on a monitor, it look normal. But if you're not watching it on a monitor, the text is gonna look really small. So while it may be good for just general editing for me, recording it not so much. But except I also usually record everything anyway, so that's also not ideal. But anyway, so I can take C's of. Okay, wait. 2 is this. Let me move. Okay, yeah. So let me move this to 1. Delete that. Move this to 2. Okay, so now they're both on this on that monitor, and then 4 is my OBS on this monitor. For some reason, 3 is owned by that. It's a bit strange. I guess life is strange. Why is that? Four, 5, 3. Now I own it. Okay. It's really funky to get working, but okay. So now that's on 3. But actually, my OBS should be on 0. So let me claim 0 and move to 0. Okay. Good. So you guys didn't see any of that, but you see this. So yeah. Anyway, so let me. How do I usually do this? I create an auto command, and I'll just say name is build instead. And let me double check that against Claude. Now you can't see my Claude output, which is unfortunate, but it is there. Okay, so there's no .lua, first of all. So this is on 1 or 2, 2. So we'll do build, debug. The fuck? Well, actually, no, just build. Build, and then build release will be build release. And then you have run and run release. Okay, so that should work a lot better now, such that if I go back to here and open the CMake build, let's rename it to just build, right? Change it to just build, have no condition, so it works for any file, and the command will simply be ./build.sh. That's it. And I believe I can just do this. And I believe I can just do without even the brackets. Maybe not. Whatever. We'll do this. Explicit. Okay. So let's try that and see what happens. So now I'm going to quit Open this again, go to my main, and try running build. Right, so I don't get like an error or anything, but if I quit again and make a build sh script, so build.sh. Now I don't know how sh works, but I think I can just put a thing here, right? So cmake build debug. That should work. Is it executable? No, so I need to chmod plus x build.sh. Okay, so now if I do ./build.sh, it builds it. Run it again, it'll be pretty quick, it'll work. So if I go to neovib, try the same thing, build. It should just work. And yet, I don't see anything in my messages. So yeah, I don't understand. It doesn't seem to be working at all. Let me try something else. Let me go to Overseer and disable this. Well, I mean, I'll copy this, but then comment it out. And then let me go instead to my core. And let's put it in options for now. So down here, I'll paste this. Build, but what it will do instead is it will run vim.execute command. How do I have neovim build trigger boom doom in the yeah. Okay. So I don't need a whole function basically. Let's do ctd and just do !build.sh. So like that's like as raw as it gets. So let's try this again. Go to main and try running build. Yeah, that actually worked. Okay. And likewise, I can make a run.sh and have it just be ./build debug /freeware. Now it's automatic, which is a downside, but it does work. So likewise, chmod run.sh, now it's executable, and have a similar command here, but change build to run. Okay, and then I'll go back to Overseer and just delete these. Like, I don't know, man, it doesn't work for some reason. Okay, so then neovim, again go to main, so I can build, and then I can run. Look at that. So that's really convenient. And then I can map those to keybinds, right? Which would be pretty good. Yeah. Cool. Nice and convenient. I mean, run's pretty quick to type. Build as well isn't too bad to type. The downside is that it doesn't like go to your what do you call it? The hyper thing, or like a quick fix. Is it called quick fix? Like the thing that like sticks to like the bottom of your screen. Quick fix. There's to do quick fix, but yeah, I don't know how to just open it normally. So, but like that's there. And it'd be cool to have the output there, and then also like hook your errors. There's this whole setup that I saw in this video. I'll probably get around to doing it sometime. But like it basically allows you to not even need like an LSP to show you errors, because your quick fix will just show it when you compile, which is pretty cool. But anyway, so now I can change something, for example. So I can go to my game loop, so game.cpp. Notice here, right under the color, I have red and this. Let's say I want to change it to more blue. I'll put that there, run build, and then run. Another blue. In fact, to make this even nicer and more like what Rust does, I can go to my run.sh and say that I also run build.sh. So first I run build.sh and then I run the thing. And hopefully that works the way I'm expecting. So if I go back to, well, let's run and see what gets output. Yeah, it builds, and then it runs. Okay, try again. Yeah, awesome. So we'll go to my game.cpp again, the game loop. Change the color to, I don't know, changes to green instead. Let me even, yeah, let's do that so I can edit it more easily. And run. Boom, now it's green. Change it to red again. Can't type. Run, boom. Not boom, but like, boom. So very cool, very cool. Compile times are a bit slow, I'm noticing. I don't know why that is for like such a simple change. I mean, obviously the whole SDL library is behind it, but it really shouldn't be recompiling that much. Like I would expect most of the things to be cached. So then the other thing to do would be make the same thing for the release mode, because the debug mode is for debug, so I can also debug it, but the release mode is not. In fact, can I have a command? I can do dap new, which will ask me for the executable. I can have a debug command. Oh, okay. I can have a debug command. What does debug do? Right. What about something more complex, like having debug trigger dap new, and then input the results from some config file? What did you normally? Require dap.run config. Oh, okay, like literally. So I'm gonna go, right, so like let's say I have my config here. Go to the options, where it was before, create a new command, and we'll say debug will open the debugger. So it will call the function require dap dot run that's weird. Do I need to wrap it in a function or something? Unexpected symbol, comma. Surely it's not the quotes, right? No. It's weird. I don't know why it's not working. But run on debug. Well, okay, so vim.api.get cwd. What is it? Vim.fun fn.cwd. Okay, my fucking LSP is like loading like crazy right now. Doesn't seem to be like active properly. Get cwd. I don't know. Slash debug build slash freeware. See how that works. Let me just quit this and reopen it. Module DAP not found. Oh dear. That is slightly problematic. Let me open my EX. Lua, Kojo, core, options. I'm guessing that's because DAP isn't loaded yet, right? So let me delete this first of all. And then let me go to my DAP directly and put it here instead. Thing is, it will depend on the project, won't it? Like the language as well. But whatever, let's put this here and see if it works now. So quit neovim. That mostly called with a valid configuration. Got home Kojo config freeware. What does ChatGPT use? Claude even use? Local OK config equals pcall. DAP. Oh, it's this. Okay, so I'll take. Okay, let's say local config. Or local my config, I'll change later, equals dap.configurations.cpp. But then my config.program equals just a function, right? Do I ever need a function, or can I just do vim.fn.get cwd? No. I think I just need debug build slash freeware. Okay, and then in here, I can just have my config. Fields cannot be injected into the reference of that configuration for program. To do so, use class for my config. Yeah, that's annoying. Okay, let's just do this then. We're going to comment this out and just return vim.f, no, not even. We'll return debug build / freeware directly. Okay, and then just delete this. Yeah, but then like it's all, well, no, it is bound, and then just change this to be dap.configurations.cpp. Can also assign nil to parameter string or fun. What's nil? Right, but how do I just specify? I'm a bit confused right now. Okay, so it needs to be a function reference. So function and then end. Okay. Line with spaces only. Okay, so let's quit and let's try first we need to build, and then I'm gonna go to. We'll go back to main.cpp. I mean, not that, game. Or not. I seem to have glitched it. Okay, never mind then. Try again. Go to game.cpp. Let's add a breakpoint like. It's weird. My Kojo just crashed, which implies like a whole like memory thing just happened. It just killed Claude. What the fuck just happened? That was scary. Well, I'm gonna put a hook here, but that's like I don't know why I just closed there, and then I'm gonna run debug. Config references missing adapter nil available or LDB. Right. Okay. So it needs that. Okay. I'm not gonna. Okay, so yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna faff around with that any further for now, but there is the idea, the vision. Just need to implement it. I can still just do dap new. All right. What? This is very strange. Quit. Try this again. Open game CPP. Toggle our breakpoint. And then dap new. Yeah. Build debug / freeware. There you go. Dap disconnect. Yeah. In fact, let me run that again just to kind of show you how it actually works. So dap new. Could I even do run? So sh or no? It probably try to like debug it if I do that. So let's pass it in directly. Right. And now if I tap continue, it should launch the window, right? And now if I do, well, if I first switch windows, if I do the same thing again, not responding. Yeah, that's on purpose. Wait. Okay. If I do the same thing again, it moves one frame. Again, moves one frame. Cool, right? Although it's cutting delta time, interestingly. So right now, it's more like I'm just playing on a really low frame rate, which is why they're jumping around so significantly. That's delta time actually working. So like the game's running like right now, like, or at least like it's calculating what it needs to be in the correct position when I press continue, which is interesting anyway. Right, so let me then just tap clear breakpoints, and now if I continue, it should play like normal. Yeah. Cool. Anyway. There. The main thing is that I've built and run, because I'm not going to do much DAP. I mean, yeah, much debugging right now anyway. So, okay. Let's do a little bit more. Let's go ahead and... Okay, first let me zoom in, because I'm not using any of this space anyway. Ironically. But like, that's too big for me. I don't know. I'm gonna switch back to my main monitor. So let me move this to 3. So then I can reclaim this and then move this back to 1. Okay, good. Likewise for this one, move this to 3, have this go reclaim 2, and then move back to 2. Oh, so 3, sorry, fuck me. Claim 2, move to 2. Yeah, then OBS, switch that to my first monitor, and move OBS to something else. So let's move this to 3. Okay, now it's on my other side. This one can claim this one, so move there. Nice, okay. Yeah, cool. And I'll zoom out again. Actually, should I say something? No, that's fine for you, I think, to read. Unless you're on mobile, RIP. Right. Then again, I'm also previewing my OBS on my other monitor. But the screen size is roughly the same. I'll zoom in a bit. Okay, anyway. So... Next thing, next is I want to get textures working. So I don't really know how to go about this. I guess I need to add a component. So let me first kind of restructure my files. And you know what? To do that, I need the help of oil.nvim. It's about time I add it. I also should really switch to not using... there's so many things to do, man. Whatever. So let me go and find oil.nvim. Misspelled it intentionally, strategically. HF, open up. My computer's kind of lagging right now. Not entirely sure why. Yeah. So installation with lazy. Copy that. Let's set it up. Go to any plugin. Let's do comments. So I can open this instead. Oil.lua. Paste this. Return. Yeah, return oil.nvim. Module oil. I think I can remove that. Optional dependencies? What for? Usually prefer nvim web icons. I probably do, so I'll just do that instead. Not recommended because it's very tricky to make it work quickly in all situations. Okay. So lazy equals false then. Huh? G. Okay, must have misclicked. Right. So there's lazy. I mean oil. So if I quit and open again, I just need to hook it in my lazy.lua. LMNO, put it here. Okay, quit again. Okay, plugins installed. Don't know how to trigger it because I don't have a thing set up for it, like a keybind, but I think it's just a command. So let's oil. There we go. So is it just enter to go in? Yeah, so source, engine, and I believe we can just do this. So let me create a new folder. Yeah, I'm not sure how this works. Can I just like prefix it? So like, let's say I chose these two, Control Q and insert to get both, I think, and type components slash. Yeah, then save. Error in buff write command, error parsing oil buffers. Okay. There's an oil LSP. No, there isn't. I don't know. Whatever. Bro, my recording is like lagging quite a bit. It's a bit concerning. It says 13% CPU. Not sure what that's about then. So how do I move? Can I get oil help? I have no idea how I do that even. Or VH for oil. Yeah, okay. Oil options, potentially? No? How do I jump? Like, how do I follow a link? Shift K? Yeah. Those are options though. So Control O to go back. Nice, okay. Oil actions. Are these normal key maps? What are like the keybinds though? I don't know. Let's just spam things. R, no, that's replace. Shift R, no. Can I at least create a new file? Components slash and save. Create that. Yes. Okay. And now can I put the things before? If I say pretty please, component slash components slash save. No. So how do I move it into the thing? Like, what's the command? It's not R. Can I do G question mark for help? I can, thank God. Okay. Change sort order. Nugget to parent path. Open oil enabling to working directory. Okay, that doesn't tell me how to move it though. Claude just died on me, so I need to relaunch it. Claude, please come back. I don't know why my computer got so pressed. Maybe because it was recording my other monitor and that's like too much. But like, it's the same resolution, so it shouldn't be more harsh. I don't know. I've installed oil.nvim or vim. nvim? I've installed the oil plugin for NeoVim. How do I move a file into a subdirectory? It's pondering. Find the edited inclusive path. What? I did that, and it insist and it gave me an error instead. So let's try again. Components. Weird. How about this? How about this one more? So components. I can't speak clearly. That didn't work either. Weird. I was able to create this file, this folder, and go back, but I can't add this to it. What's going on? Close out saving and reopen oil fresh and then retry. Okay. Open oil fresh. So oil. Yeah. Define engine. Component slash. No, it just doesn't like it. No, all I did was add the subdirectory before it, like components slash and saved. Reopening a fresh instance didn't help anything. Weird. What? I mean, what did the? Oh fuck! Oh, is that onion? Oh, fucking onion in my hands. What the hell? Ow. Oh. That's evil. Right, how do I use this? Fuck my eyes. Ah, fuck my eyes. Quick start. Okay, adapters. Recipes. Let's just see the demo even. Yeah, they just typed the path. And it worked. So I'm just being hated on, I guess. I mean, I'm not creating a new file. I'm trying to rename it, right? It's a known oil issue. Oh, fuck my eyes, dude. What the hell? Okay, can I create a new file instead? Components slash test.txt. That works fine. I just want to edit this one. That's fine. Yeah, move components. It just doesn't like it. Understand components. Double backslash? No, because now I just use it as that. That's really annoying. Okay, plan B. We don't use this. Instead we go to something else. Component. Yeah, rect transform. Right, let's just R to rename. Is there M for move? No, that's mark. So we'll do components slash I mean, this is really inefficient though. Components slash. Really goofy. And then it'll be / slash pch.cpp. Same thing here. Okay. Be components here. Instead. And game also uses that, I think. Game.cpp. Right, so let me create a new component. Just copy this file basically and add. So there's rect renderer, rect transform, and we're going to add texture renderer or texture 2D. Well, obviously. Texture renderer. Yeah, fuck it. Right. So we texture renderer, position size, position. It's relevant. It is relevant. So position size, and we'll have the actual texture itself. Now, where will that come from? Well, it'll be like texture, I guess. Unknown texture, so I need to create that. In the engine, in the same way I have a renderer and a window, I need to make a texture class. And I can steal for myself, because here in my SDL3, I have texture here. Look at that. So I'll copy that. I'll get a new file here. Called texture.hpp. Paste this instead, but make it pragma once. Check this. Whoops. Let's just remove these and hook this instead, just for easy navigation between these two. Control 1, control 2, yep. Include, yep, so just copy this. That's fine. It's not directly used. No namespace. That's the handle. It should be a static constructor. Yeah, so we'll take static, auto create, or make, I guess could also work, whatever, create, and we'll take a file path, I think makes sense. So we'll take a standard file system path. Path. Now, I don't have like a texture pool system yet, but then again, you could still share anyway, somehow, whatever. This returns a standard expected, it have to yet, so it'll be a result. of itself. Then I need to include file system. Okay. It const as well, so accepts both. Funky C++ rules. So we got path. I'm going to use a file path, and in PCH we'll make that a type. EFG. Yeah. Using file path equals standard file system path. My LSP is causing so much lag right now, it's actually really annoying. Template keyword not permitted after using keyword. It's fine. It was a fake error. Okay, I'm really lagging now, and I don't know why. It's kind of concerning. What the fuck's going on? I think like actually dying right now. How hot is my computer? Quite hot. Just gonna unload a bunch of tabs. Heavy tabs. These are not open. They're actually unloaded. Is it Discord? I don't know. Shouldn't be though. Okay, we're back. Anyway, so file path is there, so I can go back to the texture. We don't use this, so we can remove it. Lagging again. I can also remove memory, because I should be using this instead. Same as this, right? Yeah. Okay, now it's basically the same. Auto get const returns SL window pointer. Auto get again const should return an S. I mean, it's not a const pointer though. But like, whatever. It's fine. Right, do that. And then we'll define it in an external file because that's the good pattern to do. Anyway, hold on. It predefines renderer. That isn't necessary here because I don't use renderer in the header, right? Yeah, that was weird. Okay, so then let me create a new file now, texture.cpp. Of course, we'll just include HTTP texture, and we'll have the different methods. So let me hook this. Okay, and we're just going to define these methods here. Within here, we have auto texture create. And for now, we'll just return nothing actually. I don't know what to put in there yet. And then for this one, we're going to remove that. The thing is, handle is initialized with it, which is the funky thing. So I need to do like handle dot. No, just leave it for now. Okay, and then get would be texture. Get I don't know, standard unreachable. Yeah, just whatever. To do implement. Let's put to do like this. Okay. Okay. This returns handle.get. Simple as. Right, so now how is the texture actually created? Let's have a grep search for SDL texture. You can see outside of the engine, you have the renderer, image load texture. Okay. Handle.get file.cstring. That's the path, right? Yeah. So let's copy that. Handle.get, that's the renderer. Right. Why does it need the renderer to do that? Why does it need to be attached to the renderer? Is that fine? I don't know if that's fine or not. Okay, let me see. So first of all, just paste this. Result, image or texture, yep, handle.get, after renderer.get, and then file.cstring, make it path.cstring. Okay, so for the renderer, so the renderer is attached to the engine. We see it here. At the bottom, we have the renderer. When we create a texture, texture needs to be somehow linked. So it's not enough to just have it be a component. It needs to feed the path. Okay, there is an alternative here, which is I assume I can create a texture at any point, right? So let me just load the texture when I need it. The thing is, like, how slow is loading a texture, right? Well, I guess like if I load it mid-loop, that's kind of my fault anyway. So like it's not too unintuitive. Okay, so here's what we're going to do instead. To decouple texture from the actual like thing, it will have a unique pointer still, don't worry. But its constructor, this is the wrong file, its structure will not create it. So like you see this texture? The constructor will take a file path and it will store it. So texture in engine. Let's have this store. So we're gonna have standard file system path. Yeah, so it creates a copy of the path, which isn't ideal, I guess, but what else can you do realistically? And then it only gets loaded, like the texture only gets loaded when it comes to the render stage. So it's a bit dodgy though. Yeah, I feel like the system's really brittle. Let me think here. Texture, create. Game object create. That's from the game engine though. Game engine doesn't have like a create texture type thing. Could it? I mean, it could do. But it's a bit weird for the game engine to be the one that does that. Like, I can't just create a texture. Yeah, so I have two approaches here. Have the game engine be the one who creates the texture. Or have the texture only loaded at render time. It's kind of weird though. It means like they need to store their texture data, which isn't ideal. What a kerfuffle. What can I do here? Is it just those two options? It's weird for the game engine to be the one who creates it, right? Like game engine creates texture, game engine create game object, game engine creates rect transform. Like if you're gonna offload everything to the game engine, you can. Or have a singleton. That's the other option. But I really don't want to. I'm a bit lost on this one. If you look at game object, you see it has a friend class with the game engine. Its constructor is private and it's down here, right? So okay, no, I'm actually gonna opt to do it on render. It's a bit funky, but let's see. So texture dots h or cpp. HPP. We're gonna have our file path. Okay. Yeah. And then we don't need it to be a reference anymore. It can just add it straight up. So you create a path. Underscore in constructors is not a nice thing. Probably best to just do empath. As much as I hate to do it. Fix conventions later. So I should probably remove this even. Like, right. So file path, yeah. So we'll copy this. And it will simply just store the path. That's it. The path of least resistance. No pun intended. So delete that. Texture create. It's quite laggy still. What the hell's going on? Delete that. Put that back. Out of line declaration of a member must be a definition. Right. So we cannot load the texture. We cannot. What we can do though is just say path equals path and leave it at that. It's static. Texture result. And then I mean I can have a private constructor, right? Where the texture can change mid. Yeah, why not? You can let it change. I mean, I could have like a register texture thing, and then like you pass that texture object to the texture. Doesn't make sense though. Or like pass a texture object to the texture renderer, because like technically I'm only creating the texture renderer. I'm not creating the texture itself, right? Yeah. I've created an issue, haven't I? Yeah, this isn't a component. Hold on, chat. This isn't even a component. So new plan. I'll just make it kind of like game object. So game object has this whole thing, which I'm going to copy for a texture. Okay. Texture equals defaults. There's no create. I mean, the file path could fail, but like, fuck you. No, the file path could fail, but I mean, it could fail, right? But that's fine, because this is not what fails. It's the game engine's one that fails. Hear me out, chat. So then let me get, that's fine. That's not needed. Yeah, so now texture is literally just that. Like if I look at the game object or HPP, like, well, that's that only. So texture CPP, texture.cpp, select all this, delete it, delete this, delete this, delete this, boom. That's it. Just the handle.get. Why is it even a public function, actually? I guess that should be private even. So only the game engine can access it, right? Like if you look at window, its get function is also public, but whatever. Anyway, so let's go game engine now. Right. So we have init game, run, which gives you the Mbappe special, and then auto create game object. Yeah. So we have auto create texture or register texture. Create texture. Keep it simple for now, and this will be a result texture because it could fail. Unlike game object, which is a pretty free operation. Use of undeclared identifier texture, fixed available. Okay, we'll include it. No, we won't. Will we? Texture doesn't know game engine, right? Yeah, it is. It is no reason to refer to game engine, so I think I can just include it here. Include texture.app. Okay, so that should resolve that error. All right, and then, well, actually copy that first, and then in the CPP file, go to the bottom, paste game engine create texture. And it will construct texture with renderer, right? A reference renderer and the file path, actually. Yeah, that was kind of important. File path, and that'll be a const reference. Yeah, so renderer and path, those both get passed in. Probably move it. I don't know if I need to move it because it's already like a reference or whatever, but yeah, it should be fine. So create texture now, that's going to be out of sync. So I need to go back up to here and paste that instead. Just remove the, remove that. Then in texture, have a private constructor, which takes a renderer. Ah, no, it does need to know what it, well, no, it just needs to know what renderer is, right? So we'll include renderer.http, just so like it's vaguely aware of what renderer is. So we'll have a renderer reference, doesn't really need to be const, I guess. Renderer and const file path reference path, right? That's the constructor. What will it do? It will load itself. So now in CPP, yeah. So let me go here, copy this, go to my CPP file, paste that, make sure it's texture, and have a body there. Then go to the other texture file, or whatever it was with the grep search, image here. Well, yeah, we have that, I guess. Okay, I'll take that instead. Go to texture.cpp, paste that body there, make sure it's aligned properly. So standard texture, yeah, pointer results. It'll be renderer.get and path.cstring. If it's a null pointer, return. It can error. It can error. That's right. Okay, never mind. It'll be create then. Yeah, it'll be create and it'll be static. Fuck me. Bro, control I. Shift I. What's going on? Auto returns a result of itself. Okay. SDL get error. That's a string, I think. Otherwise, it returns itself. Yeah, so it'd be texture result first of all. Then we have the maybe texture. If that's fine, then we can construct directly. Actually, not even. So we'll say if it's fine, then create texture result, constructing with or even auto result equals texture like this. I kind of like this pattern more. It's less ambiguous as well. Equals texture, and we'll feed in. What actually matters here? The pointer, right? Yeah. So we'll just dereference maybe texture. And by dereference, I mean get the value of it. Okay. And then return result. And to fix this, we need to have texture, which takes a, actually no, that can be the header. So we'll copy that. Go back to the HTTP file. I'm really making this complicated for myself, like by not thinking it through as well as I should be. So texture create there, make it static, auto, and delete that. And then we have a private constructor which says texture takes in a what's it again? A fucking SDL texture pointer, right? Hold on. What's it for? How does window construct itself? No? Renderer? Okay, these two have no constructors, but they could probably be refactored to have it. So, yeah, whatever then. Whatever, so SDL texture, or SDL texture like that. And then just kind of put that into the unit pointer. So handle will be initialized with a texture. And that should satisfy it. I think. Okay, so a bit complicated there, but I think everything works now. So a texture renderer has a texture. And that's because you pass it in. So it includes texture.hpp. Okay. And then in my game loop, finally, here, I can create a texture and store it. Yeah. Didn't mean to do that. I apologize. Yeah, sorry. So game.http, here we go. Yeah, we'll create a texture. So let's have, I don't know, Vim texture. Texture, Vim texture. It's like that. Expected at the end of the declaration list. Oh boy, okay. Can I jump to definition here? No. Okay, engine.http. Where's the error? Why am I in there? Fuck. Here. Okay. Where was I? Yeah, so now I've created that. Then here I'm gonna have Vim texture, or I guess maybe texture. Vim texture. Auto maybe Vim texture equals game engine create texture with a file path of where the fuck it is, I don't know. This will be relative to the executable, right? So it'll be in assets. Yeah, that's a bit funky. So do I have a copy of assets? Does it do that? I might have set that up like a smart person. I don't know why it's only showing these files. Can I show hidden files, bro? Toggle filter git clean. See? Where's the debug folder? I get like it's in git ignore or whatever, but there we go. Build debug assets. Okay, it's there. So it is there. It's assets / vim.png. So let's do assets / vim.png. Simple as. Call to non-static member function without an object argument. Call to non-static member function without an object argument. Jump to definition, no information available, sick. What do you mean? Create texture. I don't understand why it's saying that. Well, it was defined, right? Make me doubt myself. No matching constructor for an initialization of texture. Are you sure? Yes. Return texture, create. Ah. Okay. That's fixed. What does that error mean? Game engine create texture without an object argument. Sorry, game engine's past there. It's engine.create texture. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Too used to like Unity. And then if not maybe Vim texture dot has value. How the fuck did I get undoed? Has value. Then return standard or return error. Maybe Vim texture dot error. Void function start should not return a value. Shit. Okay, whatever. Then for now we'll just standard C out then, and return early. Yeah. So I don't have like errors for that yet, but I'll set it up. So standard print line. Do I even have that in my thing? I think I do. Standard error. Could not find vim.png. Let's say. Okay. And then otherwise texture vim texture directly equals dereference or the value at maybe vim texture. Is copy assignment operator is implicitly deleted. Why? Why? Game object. I mean, this has default, isn't it? It's because if you fucking specify one thing as default, it means that like everything else, like it opens the floodgates for everything else to not be defined. It's actually really annoying. Fuck. So now you have to like define the copy constructor manually, but that's so annoying. I don't want to do that. I mean, actually, I don't have to be fair. But I just have to outline it. So like texture. Do I need to do that, or like is it still implicitly included? But is it? I mean, I'll try building and see what happens. Yeah, it's building really slowly. Okay. Use of deleted function operator equals. Right. So I'll copy this. And go back to texture.http. Not that one. Undo that thing. Paste this. Brilliant. Okay, equals default. Holy lag. I really need to get that keyboard so I can put my computer on laptop stand. So like the heat is better. Heat dispersion. Explicitly defaulted copy 7 operator is implicitly deleted. What do you mean? That's equals. What's the one? The move one. Yeah. Is this not the copy thing? Okay, let me just ask because I don't understand this. Why is the copy constructor implicitly deleted here, and how do I bring it back? It's triangulating. Because handle is a unique pointer, move only member. Is it? Okay. Okay, so basically I just can't copy. Wait, yeah. No, that's fine. I mean, with experience and time, you know, with time and experience, I will get better at this. This should be a standard move 100% of the time. Anyway. So like, regardless, that was just bad code by me. Okay, fine. Now it will build. Perhaps. To be fair, if that's the only issue I have on build, that's not too bad. Obviously, I have my LSP to give me errors already along the way, but... Okay, undefined reference to create... I need to refresh my CMake lists. Somehow do that, bring it back. Okay, build. It's really slow, but I think that's because my computer's struggling in general right now. Networking function call to texture, bracing close initializer list. It's a pointer. Fuck me. Yeah. This is in texture CBP line 14. On 14, it's because I thought this was unwrapping. It's not. It's a pointer. So that's that end. Like it's almost worth having that, but this language is so annoying, dude. Sometimes. So let me build now. Okay, it built. I can run it. Yeah. So now to actually use a texture, because that whole system is set up. Let's do game CPP. Down here, actually up here. Actually, yeah, this should be first. In general, anyway. So let's delete that and put it up here. Nope, here. Okay. Yeah. So instead of a renderer, I'm going to give it a texture renderer. Okay. So I need to include it as well. Okay, and once that's loaded, I can say texture renderer dot texture equals vim texture. But I can't copy, so it have to be a reference, I guess, or a pointer. Like it can't store the texture; it has to be a pointer to the texture. Okay, so let's have it be a pointer then instead. So go back to texture renderer and make this a texture pointer, or like a standard shared pointer maybe, but like yeah, it should be using row pointers, but I can fix that later. Okay, and then here, that's there, and now it's just a matter of the game engine in its loop here. See how it iterates through the rect renderers? It should do the exact same thing for text renderers as well. So texture renderer for texture renderers. Draw color doesn't matter there. The rectangle does matter. There's no offset or anything like that. So I guess I need to add that back. Is it not there? Hold on. Texture renderer. There's position and size. Whereas rect renderer has these. Yeah, so that's wrong. It should be here. It should inherit the same things, right? So then, well, not inherit, but like have the same things. And then go back to game engine.cpp. Replace the rect renderer with texture renderer. Okay. And to actually draw the texture, I don't know how that works. Do a grep SDL something texture. I don't know. Let's have a look. Render texture. Texture dot what? Dot get. Okay. So copy that back to engine.cpp and paste that instead. So delete this, make it renderer dot get, and make it SDL3. That's fine. Undefined. So texture renderer dot texture dot get, and it'll be get like this, I think, right? Huh? No member. It's going off screen. rect renderer. It thinks it's a rect renderer for some reason. Right, so then I need to add this to the engine.hpp as well. I believe I have component pools. Where is rect renderers? Oh, it's up here. Okay. Yeah. So I have texture. Okay. Unica identifier, need to include it. And all should be good now. Except for that little thing there. That should be an arrow. Okay, finally. And yeah, that should work, I think. Let's give it a spin. Try running it. See if we get an error on build. Or perhaps I am the chosen one. Nope. Fuck you mean nope? What? Okay, thank you, Kojo. Let's grep for nope and see where that comes from. Here. Right, I've assumed that there's a rect renderer. Yeah, so no, get the text renderer instead. And I'm just gonna call it renderer, honestly. Okay, run. There you go. I mean, it works. we got fucking textures going. Awesome. Wow, that feels good. Okay, so let me start by fucking changing this fucking error. Could not find texture renderer in app. Component in app. Yeah. Here, don't even return, just exit. Even. Okay, awesome. So yeah, like literally just shit. And then there should be other ones too. Like there should be assets/paint. So if I run that instead, it'll compile. There you go, paint. Boom. So now I have a working texture system. And what you do is you first load the textures and then you feed it to the texture renderer. Awesome. And that feels quite good, quite like intuitive. There we go. There we fucking go. That is how we do it. That is how we do it. So there you go. Textures now work, and I can do anything I want with textures. I could have. I'm tweaking, bro. I could have a background. So I guess I'll add the background now because I might as well, right? There is something to be said about the order at which things are rendered. I don't know how that's determined. Like surely it's just like the order in which they're added here, right? So to change like the layer of something, I don't know if that's set up yet, but what I can do anyway is just have very simply background equals game engine dot create game object. Yeah. But then do add component on texture renderer. So I want to add that. We auto, and this will be the background renderer. And then before that, even auto background texture or background image, however you think about it, but it's maybe as well, is engine.createTexture, and it's Windows XP wallpaper. Okay. So assets / Windows XP wallpaper. It should be assets by default anyway, but whatever. .png, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then just classic thing here. If it fails, if not, maybe background texture has value, then cannot find Windows XP wallpaper.png. Otherwise, create that and then set background renderer dot texture equals dereferencing of that. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of goofy actually, how that happens. Whatever. Also, actually, I guess I don't need to make it a reference. No, I do, because never mind. Right. Also, it needs to have a rect transform. So I do actually need to store this some way, some form. So background equals this, and I'll say auto background renderer equals this instead. So put that here, and it'll be background component. There, okay. Put it like here. Yeah. So first we do that, and then we say auto background transform equals background dot add component rect transform. And can I forward the args? It does forward the args actually. So I could just do it directly. What are the args? I don't even know. I'm not sure that LSP can even figure it out. Position and size. So position equals, and then dot size equals. And then I don't actually need this. It's pretty cool. I guess I don't need this either. The background renderer. I can just feed in the arguments directly. Oh, but they're function arguments. Not a constructor. Wait, how does this work? Default constructor. Like, cause like there's no aggregate, isn't there? Yeah, there isn't. That's really annoying. Fine then, this pattern. Yeah. Anyway, so background transform dot position equals, put it at 0, 0 for now. So just default basically, and the scale size even. Yeah. Background transform dot size is I like how it shows the different options. What's the size? Like 1280 by 720? I mean, it's not, but we'll see what happens if I do that. I wonder like if I'll stretch it out or something. Let's run and see what happens. Probably get an error. Never mind, I'm the goat. Never mind, I'm not the goat. Core dumped. Segmentation fault. Okay. Let me inspect the actual file here. That's in the wrong window. So if I check assets, Windows XP, yeah. Oh, fuck's sake. Sick. Awesome. I see. Fuck. I just want to check the fucking metadata. Projects, freeware, assets. Concheck. Fine. Oclante. Okay, so it's 364 by 274. What the hell? Really? Okay, so 365 by 274. Let's start with that. Now, I don't know why I get a segmentation fault. That's very non-C++ like. It's more like C. So that's a bit bizarre. I assume that if I remove all this code, it'll just work, right? Okay, I have a debugging opportunity on my hands. So let's go ahead and add a breakpoint here. So debug a breakpoint. Okay, and let's run it. So dap, well, first build. Oh, but I get an error. No, I don't get an error. It builds, but okay, yeah. So then dap new, debug build / freeware. Okay. So we go here, and then let's step over, dap step over. Okay, checks that. It has the value, so it goes to the next. Engine, okay, game object, okay, does that. Then gets the component for the renderer, text renderer, okay, does that. Then it does this. Texture equals, and then we get the texture and take a pointer to it, okay. Then background transform equals background add component, okay, so it does that. Sets the size, right. And then, yeah, so now we'll step out. Okay, so now we're past that. Step over again. Step over. Step over. A bunch. It's gonna pull the events. Do the whole thing for different events. Okay, let's step out of this one. Exception. Address not mapped to object. For a pointer get. What? That's it. An error. Okay. So something, oh yeah, I mean, that wasn't the best tracking, but whatever. So in engine.cpp, there's something wrong here, essentially. We have text renderers and just get. So it seems like the get here is the issue, that this is empty. I don't see why else it would cause problems. To test that, I can set my breakpoint here instead. So again, breakpoint, toggle breakpoint, and then run dap new. So we get stuck here, dap continue, and goes here. Now if I step over, we'll crash. Yeah. So that's definitely the source of the issue. Okay. Now I assume it's not the renderer, it's the actual thing. Ooh, because it goes out of scope. It goes out of scope. Right. So I need to keep it. Yeah, I mean these are trivial things that I'm being really rusty right now. Is my excuse. So we're gonna have background here instead, and then add it to game HPP. Yeah. Holy shit! Why is it so much? What? Game.hpp, wrong one. Yeah. So we have the apps, but before that we have the background. So game object, background. Okay, let's run. That should work now. Okay, so the debugger was actually useful there, which I'm very happy about. I didn't have to like put comments all over my code. Fuck. Okay, so we got another segmentation fault. I wonder why. So same thing there. Tap continue. In fact, let me just remove this fucking breakpoint. Okay, anyway, so then tap continue. Goes here. Which one is null? It's definitely not renderer.get, right? Like that wouldn't make sense because renderer is initialized before run is even called. So it's definitely the texture that's being thingied here. Thingied. This should be different anyway. Try to render text renderer without a rect transform. Okay, so let's step over and see if it's the same thing. In fact, let's even step into to see where it goes wrong. Return handle.get, yeah. That's a texture. Yeah. Texture get. Yeah. Okay. Weird. Very weird. So it's not that this pointer doesn't exist. It's more that the texture doesn't exist. Vim texture equals standard move, surely. Same issue as last time. That's weird. Because why would it copy then? What? Vim texture is used here, yeah. But I do. I take a standard move of it, and I move that into the pointer. What? That doesn't make sense. Does it make sense? Let's try. Test first, think later. I mean, like, it will compile, but like, will it crash? Yeah. So it's not a standard move, which is interesting because, like, in theory, it should be a move issue. It's a copy. It needs to be a reference. Holy shit, bro. Are you serious? Auto is shafting me like that right now? That's insane. Try again. Literally. Okay, so the background's not even rendering anyway, which is hilarious. Not sure why that's happening. Let's put position. What the fuck? I think it's 800 by 600 is what I'm going for here. So mathematically speaking, the y is 0. That's fine, but 1280 to 800 would have to be like 480 extra 240. Yeah, so I don't know why it's not rendering it. That's a bit bizarre. Am I missing something? For that to work, engine. The scale is by default 1. That's fine. I mean, I assume it is anyway. Yeah. This kind of needs to be explicit. Something I only learned recently. Rect renderer. Same thing. But that shouldn't explain why this doesn't render. SDL render texture. I mean that, but like it already works for the other stuff. Could it be that there is just no texture or something along those lines? I don't know. Do I need to move this? Surely. But like standard move that doesn't do anything to my understanding here. Cuz like it's already an. Is it? I don't even know right now, man. Like I think what's happening is the texture is just going out of scope. Because like I'm passing a pointer to it, but I'm not passing. But even like corrupt memory or something, like just show something. Because I'm not storing the texture. I'm storing a pointer to the texture. I'm not keeping it in scope. I think that's the issue. So to fix this, I should do what I said I would do before, which is make this a shared pointer. So do standard make shared. Do I need to have a thing? Yeah, texture. Okay, so that should keep it in scope. And then if I go to my texture.hpp, yeah, text renderer.hpp, yeah, here we go. Then make this a standard or just shared pointer, because I have that already defined. Okay, that might fix it. I mean, because like that fixes the ownership issue. How does I even get errors there? Oh, because it just ran the old one, right? No match for operator equals. Line 40. Okay, so game CPP. This works, right? No matching function call to construct at. Right, because this is video referenced. Hello? And moved? Yeah, okay, fine. And then here, same thing. Instead of that reference, we say standard make shared. So standard make shared. Vim texture, is that a pointer? Is it no, yeah, that's the actual texture. So I'll make it a shared pointer. That's weird, actually. It should really just be that anyway. Yeah, no. So Vim texture will just be a shared pointer from the get go. So we'll same thing here. Then standard make shared texture with this, and then change this here to be a shared pointer. Now, once I get like the whole like texture system working, where instead of like doing this yourself, there's like a texture registry that you can like reference, that would be a bit more convenient, but this should work. Man, so much of this language is actually just reaching in the dark. That's crazy. But it should build. Yeah, so let's run it. Yes! Come on! Right. It's too small because it's 800 by 600. Is it centered though? Yeah, it is centered. I just made it too short. Let's go. Okay, so let's go and let's go back to game of CPP. Oh, that feels so good. That feels so good. Just figuring it out. Right, so then we have 800, 600. Now it's 720p. So do the math. Fucking calculator. That's not right. Calculator. It cannot be that slow to launch a calculator app. God damn, bro. Okay, give me... Sorry, what? Come back. Yeah, give me 800 over 600. It's a 4:3 ratio. So we want to do 720. First of all, 1280 times. No, that's relevant. It is 4/3 times 720. 3/4 times 720. So 3/4 is 540. What? No. No, yeah, no, it is 4/3. 4/3 of 720. Okay. Because the height is the same, so like it is 720, but the width is what we want to calculate. Holy moly. So that will now, okay, so that's different now. So the position is going to be 1280 minus 960 over 2, which is 160. Okay, fuck off. So let's do 160 instead. Close that and let's run. Now it'll be centered and it'll be fully filling without stretching. Yeah. So now if I even resize the window, I can't resize the window. Okay, whatever. But like throughout the game, depending on which operating system you're using, your screen resolution will be different, and therefore you have more or less like screen space, and that'll be a mechanic in the game as well. So to have this fit, let's move our Vim things. Right now they start at 100. Let's have 260 because we're just going to basically add 100 to that, and let's run that. There you go. So there's a grid and there's the Vim things. Awesome. So I mean, I had this working before, but now I've had it in. But now I have it in a state where like it's actually on a system that's good. So that's why this feels really good. Okay, so let's adjust these positions a bit more. It's already 160, so let's have like a bit less. I'm gonna say one. Let's say it's like a 40 offset. Of course, I could make these relative, but I just want to kind of test it. And then for the Y position, I'll make it also 40. In fact, so let's say 20. Be a bit more daring here. Just like to get like a feel for the game and its how it will look. Holy lag, 180, and run that. Yep. Unfortunately, it's slow to compile, but whatever. C++ for you. There you go. So like this, you would place your troops like so, and then the viruses would come from this side, just like in Final Fantasy Zombies, and they would attack your things, and they would fight back. So Vim is a text thing, so it will shoot text, I guess. Maybe you have like the different modes for Vim too. Well, I guess that'd be cool. Actually, yeah, that'd be really cool. Like have Vim be like a modal troop. So like they spit out text, and then when the enemies are like on them, they switch to defensive mode, which could be I don't know, like visual select mode or something. I don't know. Something along those lines would be cool, rather than just like shooting text out, because that's pretty lame. Cool. So there's Vim. And yeah, so now the rest is just making the game, you know? Obviously I need to sort out the layering system, because right now there's no layers. So if I had background come after that, then it would probably render stuff afterwards, which I'll demonstrate in a second. So yeah, that's working. So like if I were to move this entire block to the end instead, so delete that and put it here, what happened is that it would be rendered over my other stuff, which you can argue is fine, but it does create issues if I want to like later like create something but then have something come behind it afterwards. Like that just doesn't work, right? So how do you manage that? I don't know. You could have an explicit list, or you could go by Z indices, right? I think Z indices make sense instead of like a list or whatever, because that doesn't make sense. And then it would need to iterate over the transforms based on the index. How will it do that? I don't know, but I'll figure it out. But that's the API. The actual code itself like making this nicer here is really just a matter of like adding more game engine things. I mean, this is already pretty nice. It's just a shame that there aren't named arguments for functions, or else I'd be able to condense like these lines into one, and these statements into one as well. And same goes for these two, like these here as well. It's just unfortunate. But yeah, that's how it goes, I guess. Let me reorder these. Yeah, so I'm gonna, before I stop though, I want to do one more thing. This is unused, but that's because I'm not using it. That's intentional. Let's change this to what it should be, which is a result. Void. Or nothing, as I call it. Because it should be able to return errors. So I'd return this exact message, just make it a error instead, i.e. and standard unexpected. Do that. There you go. Same thing for the other ones up here. Yeah. Okay, and then just change it here as well. There should be a auto standard results, nothing, and same thing here. And then I need to go to the iGame HPP and do the exact same thing. Okay, and let's build. Ignoring return value of type result void in engine.cpp. With no discard. I mean, yeah, but where do I have no discard? Like I don't have that. Although yeah, this should be also be well, it should be no discard. No, not really. That's not idiomatic. So engine.cpp. Yes, I ignore them, but I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, because do I have warnings as errors? No, but like no, it's not. But like, where's the no discard attribute? That's not a thing like that's attached to it. So I don't know where that comes from. Maybe it's like it's automatically given to error values. Maybe. Yeah. Oh no, like auto. Start result equals that, right? If not start results dot has value, then return start result dot error. Just basic error propagation that would be nice to have in C++, but we don't have it. No variable conversion from basic string char to function type, right? I just need to wrap it in the error. Yeah. Or just even just like return directly. That is also an option, right? But it's less idiomatic, so like it makes less sense reading it, so I'll just do it like this. Same pattern for the update loop. Over here. Okay. Auto update result equals that, and then just change start for update. Right. I don't know if that fixes all the errors. There seem to be some other things there. I doubt that was Right. What's wrong? Expected colon at the end of member declaration. Okay. So the override goes after the return type. Sure. So this is in game.cpp. Or HPP. 1. Yeah. So delete that. Go to the end here and paste before. Yeah. That might work. I don't know. Let's see. Control reaches end of non-void function. Yep. So this is in CPP. At the very bottom, we need to return nothing, and likewise return nothing to indicate that all is good. Okay. And build. Run even, because I'm so confident there are no more errors. What that do even? Yeah, it just fixed the propagation. So now if I were to make an error, like not do any of this even, so it's just empty, or like not give it a transform, right? Let's say I just give it a texture and I forgot to give it a transform. A transform is required, so I would run it. It would compile fine, but when it runs, I get an error. Yeah, game engine runtime error, nice, and this time it propagated. So before what happened is it would have just logged it, but now it's going all the way back to the main function. Try to render texture renderer for game object without a transform. And the reason that you know that is because if I go to the main function, you see here is calling this one, game engine runtime error. So cool, awesome. Now the tab is really big for some reason. I'll probably change it to just spaces, honestly, like manually, instead of relying on tab size. Okay. And there you go. Kumbaya. So I'm going to commit this, made a lot of changes. Implement textures. Implement texture system with texture renderer. And fix error propagation. Like not even fix, implement error propagation. Okay, and there you go. And again, we can do /run.sh, and we get this lovely. Well, yeah, it's going to build first. So I mean, I need to modify my run sh script as well, so it doesn't try to run it if the compile fails. I know that that's possible. I just don't know how to do it. But there you go. This has been awesome. yeah, awesome indeed. So maybe it's lagging because like it's also recording my second monitor in the background, but it shouldn't be doing that if I'm not focusing on the screen. So that's really weird if it is doing that. I could just hide it, but yeah, I don't know. I'll hide it for now because I'm not going to show it for a while anyway. Okay, so yeah, good progress there. Very happy with that. Next steps are just adding more things, right? So like building up the game and the systems as I go along. I'll probably implement the grid system next and then have it so that you're able to place the troops in the grid, right? With your mouse. I had that before, but well, I mean, like that's like the extent at which I had the game working before I did this whole like engine rewrite kind of thing. So yeah, that's the next step, and that will get me doing event handling with the mouse and clicking, and the grid itself will not be too hard. I already have the code for it, so I'll probably just be able to copy that. But yeah, it's the other stuff. After that, I don't know. I guess I'll have like a level going on. So I'll try implementing enemies that go towards, and then therefore I need to have like collisions set up as well, so that it can detect when the viruses are attacking your troops, or your apps as they're called. Have like an app selection, so I have both Paint and Vim to start with. Paint will just... Actually, I don't even know what Paint will do. I don't even know what Paint will do. It might just shoot like... Yeah, I don't know actually. I mean, Vim was gonna be my shooter, but because I want it to be modal, I actually don't want it to be a shooter anymore. I wanted to do something else that makes like use of that modal kind of like feature, you know. Have some like other app just shoot generic things. I don't know. Also like the antivirus I want to implement, so like because that will generate the RAM that you need to place these apps, to run these apps. So like that whole system as well. Because I'm both building the engine and the actual game at the same time, right? So I'll plan out the game. I mean, I already know I already know the basic gameplay mechanics, so I will implement those basic gameplay mechanics before going any further, and then I can abstract that away into its own like scene kind of system, perchance, like level system, and then you can run a level from some main menu, which I'll also code, and then honestly you'd probably have like a decent demo fairly quickly. I mean like a very primitive demo, but like at least where you can go into the main menu, run the demo level, and then like place troops to defend from the viruses, and then have some kind of game over as well. I could probably implement that pretty quickly, which is pretty cool. And then in the future, even, I could take that engine and turn it into a Plants vs. Zombies fan game. But yeah, I don't really have motivation to make fan games right now because the copyright issues. I mean, you'll be fine making a fan game, obviously, but like I can't profit from it or publish it. The reason I'm making this game in SDL3 is because I want to like give it like the foundation it needs to one day scale to be like a proper full game, and that's why I'm making it inspired by Plants vs. Zombies, but still like completely different in terms of, obviously the theme is completely different, but also the gameplay will be quite different, and the similarities will be in the type of tower defense gameplay, the grid based, you plant your things and then the things attack, but apart from that it will be very different. So I'm quite excited to see how this develops. This could be the start of something special. Either way, though, even if I don't end up finishing the game, the experience I've gained now from implementing the game engine will be very important if I ever want to do any other kind of game dev in the future. But like game dev and like C++. or some other language. For Rust there is Bevy, and you may wonder why I'm not using Bevy. Well, it's because I don't want to use Rust. But yeah. Anyway. Also, I want to make my own game engine, low-key, for fun. Not my own graphics engine. That's a whole other thing. That's why I'm not doing like OpenGL or Vulkan, but my own game engine that uses a graphics engine already, which is SDL3. So, yeah. Cool. So yeah, look forward to that. I'm gonna make dinner now. I thought my aunt was coming back today, but maybe she's not. So after I eat dinner, I'll probably get back to configuring my new Vim again, because I want to have my vim.pack set up. More and more people now are sharing their vim.pack setup on the subreddit for NeoVim, which is really good, because I want inspiration for, because like I know how to use it, but like I want to know like a good setup, you know, like a good file structure, or like good config structure. So I'll figure that out afterwards as well. Anyway, I'm very happy. After all this configuring and learning, I'm finally like, feel like I'm making proper progress. So awesome stuff. Awesome-tacular.